listen to me, child, and do not smile when I speak, for these are not the kind of stories told to pass time. What I tell you tonight, I tell so you will remember, so you will be careful. There are things out here in the desert that walk where no man should walk. We call them Yenal Lushi. With it, he goes on all fours. You might have heard the word Skinwalker from outsiders, but that word is too small for what they truly are. They are witches who have traded their souls for power. They wear the skins of coyotes, wolves, owls, and sometimes even people. And when they wear that skin, they can move like that creature, think like it, hunt like it. But the worst thing is, they can use your voice, or the voice of someone you love. They call you from the dark, and if you answer, you will never come home.
Our elders say they cannot be killed like normal men. Bullets will not stop them unless you know the old ways. Fire can drive them back, but not for long. And if they touch you, even just a brush of their hand, a sickness will take root inside you. That is why we never speak their name at night. It draws them.
When I was your age, our elders warned us every season. They told us there were places in the land you must not go after dark. A dry wash north of the mesa, the 3 stones that stand like teeth in the canyon, and the old sheep corral where no goats have been kept for 50 years. They never explained why. They didn't have to. If you asked, they only said, that place is theirs now. We were children, of course, and children test the fence, even when there is no fence. But I listened. I remembered the way my grandmother's eyes grew distant when she told us to stay away from the old paths. She had seen them once, she said, in the winter of her youth, when the snow lay deep and the nights were colder than they are now. She never spoke of what she saw, only that it was moving fast and it was smiling. It was in my 17th year when I learned that the warnings were not just to keep children in line. It was late summer, the kind where the heat lingers even after the sun dies. I had been helping my uncle drive goats back from grazing. We were later than we should have been. The sky had already gone the color of burnt copper. Shadows stretched long across the red earth.
The old corral lay ahead, just a ring of rotting posts now. My uncle told me to take the goats the long way around. I asked why. He just looked at me and said, because I said so. But I was tired, and the goats were restless. I thought cutting through would save time. The air changed as soon as we stepped between those posts. It grew still. Even the goats fell quiet, their hooves soft against the dirt. I began to whistle, just a simple tune my mother used to hum while working. And from somewhere in the corral, the whistle came back, note for note, perfect. I froze. The goats pressed against my legs. I whistled one more short phrase. It came back again, this time a hair too fast, as if whoever was copying me knew the melody, but not the breath between the notes. From the corner of my eye, something moved between the posts. At first I thought it was a coyote, but its back was too long, the limbs too thin. It moved with a strange, jerking grace, like it was learning how to walk all over again. The head hung low, but when it turned toward me I saw the eyes, black as wet stones, no white at all. I gripped my staff so hard my knuckles hurt. The thing tilted its head, like it was listening to my heartbeat. Then it smiled, a mouth too wide, too many teeth. It began to follow. My legs tensed to run, but before I could move, the wind shifted, carrying the sharp, clean scent of cedar smoke. And behind me, from the dark, came my uncle's voice. Out, Now, he was standing just beyond the posts, cedar bundle smoking in his hands, his face set in anger, but beneath it, fear. Later he told me he knew I would take the shortcut. The creature stopped at the edge of the smoke, still smiling. Then it dropped to all fours and vanished into the brush without a sound. 3 nights later, I was sleeping in the small hogan my uncle kept near the grazing lands. The goats were penned close. The moon was thin, just a pale knife in the sky. Sometime past midnight, I woke to a sound, a whistle. My whistle. It circled the hogan slowly, coming from just beyond the thin walls. Then a voice joined it, my own voice, but wrong. The words were slurred, stretched, as if something inside the throat didn't know how to shape them. It called my name once, twice, then laughed in a way that scraped against my bones. I could not move, not because I was afraid, though I was, but because something held me. It was like a heavy net had been dropped over my body, invisible but suffocating. My chest rose shallowly, my limbs refusing to obey. And then I remembered my grandmother's warning. If the darkness freezes you, you must break it. Move even a finger. Bite your own tongue if you have to, but break it before it takes hold. The steps outside moved closer, dragging those long nails through the dirt. The whistle came again, now right at the door. I fought the weight pressing me down. My jaw clenched, my toes curled, inch by inch. I forced my right hand to twitch. Once, twice, and suddenly the hole broke like dry twigs. I sat up with a gasp, my heart hammering. Outside the steps stopped. The cold in the air seemed to lift. And then, nothing. No whistle, no voice, only the quiet of the desert night. When the first gray light came, I stepped outside. There were no hoof prints, no goat tracks, only long, deep impressions in the dirt. Too long for a man, too narrow for a coyote, something between. That winter, 2 boys from the next settlement vanished after hunting rabbits near the canyon teeth. They never found their bodies, only their bows lying in the sand. The elders said nothing to the rest of us, but I saw the way they burned cedar and sang the old prayers every night for a month. Since then, I have never walked the old paths after dark. I do not whistle at night. I do not answer voices from the shadows. And I tell you now, child, you must do the same. Because the Skinwalker does not forget. It waits. It learns. And if you ever give it your voice, it will never stop following you.